Estamos online. Yeah, hello. Welcome to our session of the STARTS regional centers, and would like to say welcome to Veronika Liebel from Ars Electronica. And at first, she will speak in general about the STARTS program, and to give us a little bit more inside information or what we can speak or give questions also to her. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Matthias. Yes, I'll take the opportunity after the lunch break to box us a bit out from the lunch coma and try to revive our mood with science, technology, and the arts. STARTS is, I would say, the lighthouse initiative of the European Commission to bring out new forms of innovation at the nexus of arts, science, and technology. In particular, STARTS has been installed also to bring out these types of innovation that foster, in particular, also social and environmental benefits. So bridge, of course, on the one side, economic interests, but then also make sure that we are fostering very much also environmental, ecological, and social dimensions. From 2016 to today, STARTS actually funded more than 150 residencies, so it is already a teenager, I would say, in terms of European initiatives, and distributed in these 150 residencies more than 4.5 million euros to STARTS artists or to artists and collaborators working in these residencies. Many more will come. We are actually also presenting later today a couple of initiatives who are really putting again STARTS residencies out, and many more will also come over the next years. We also have many awarded projects from STARTS prizes in particular, and I will come back to that also later. But I just wanted to mention also and give a big applause and thanks also to the European Commission, who is actually funding this initiative continuously since 2016. In particular, DG Connect, so the Director General for Communication Networks, Content and Technology, is responsible for this initiative and was the one also understanding very much the science coming from evaluations of previous research-funded programs. Back then it was still FP7 and also science from industry, when representatives of the industry and also from large-scale research organizations claimed that in addition to scientific and technological skills, very much also this creative way of approaching technologies will be needed in order to bring out new types of innovation and to make innovation really relevant for our society. The core interest of the program is, of course, to bring really out new types of products, new kind of services, very much really focus on also technological innovation. But I would say that not only a side product, but really one core pillar is equally also to build literacy, to build capacity also on how technological processes work, also how they are affecting us as humans, as individuals, how we can also make sure that we affect them. One specificity about STARTS, and that's what I actually wanted to focus on very much today, is that STARTS developed over the course of the last years a whole set of different tools, and that's, I think, quite specific because there is no similar initiative in Europe. There is also, at least I don't know any other similar initiative worldwide, which has really substantially and also so systematically developed specific methodologies on how you can foster art-driven collaboration, and that allows us all now to benefit truly and also scale this initiative much more than we would be able to scale it if we would do this only alone. The original pillar is the STARTS Prize. That was the one who actually started all over in 2016, when, based on this ICT and Art Connect study, the primary research conducted to kick STARTS off actually wanted something where we can already demonstrate what is out there. So basically a guiding principle or guiding compass as the STARTS prize today is to honor each year different kinds of outstanding practices in the field. And we do this continuously now for, I think, already the 8th year at Ars Electronica. The STARTS residencies are actually much more short-term residency stays, I would say, where artists get the chance of doing artistic research together with scientific partners or technological partners, and produce also within these types of encounters some outcomes. As I said already, there are, that's the biggest pillar, so we are already having 150 outcomes from previous years, and they're all published also if you have an interest in looking into what was already produced and what results we have. The STARTS residencies are usually awarded with 20 to 60,000 euros, so a range of projects which came out of this. Usually they last about, I would say, 4 to 10 months. While the STARTS pilots, that's the 4th one here on the slide, is actually meant for longer duration. It's more of a fellowship style, and it's specifically centered on industry sectors. So in that sense, thematic pilots were, for example, dealing specifically with the next generation media or with water ecologies. We had one on robotic. They were specifically really focusing on sectors. We are very much focusing on STARTS regional centers today here because, of course, after all these years, in particular working also on European levels, we realized that what brings it really down to ultimately applied solutions and also applied collaborative ecosystems is to bring this back to the regions. And STARTS regional centers is since many years now, I would say, the most promising of the pillars really in ensuring that we have also, or we create the sustainability, because these are founding cohorts within regions in Europe, bringing these practices not only to the big tech in Europe, but actually also embedding them in smaller companies, in SMEs, and in ecosystems really across Europe. Ultimately, we also have STARTS academies, and those are fueled by educational activities and educational programs, and most of them are very much focusing, of course, on digital transformation education. For today, actually, or up to today, we have done STARTS academies in schools, of course, but also for creative professionals and artists. So we have different target groups in these STARTS academies. I just already gave an overview. I think we can quickly run through that. The STARTS prize itself is awarded each year in 2 different categories. One for innovative collaboration, where outstanding practices between artists or creative professionals on the one side and technologists or representatives from research organizations are honored and have a joint innovative outcome. The other category is for artistic exploration, where it's much more on artworks which try to push the boundaries or the yet known boundaries of how to use technology, how we perceive technology, how we can maybe hack technology. So this one is much more the arts-driven prize. We award them annually. I recommend highly to go into the archive. We have more than 230 projects already on there, and the pool is the most interesting thing. I mean, we have winners, prize winners from the past 8 years who use DNA as a storage medium for their data, projects working very much on circular economy, models on biodiversity. We had this year a project specifically on cross-pollination and trying to increase again biodiversity. Digital twins for their own music were created by artists, actually an artist who premiered this here in Sona in Barcelona. So the range of outcomes from the STARTS prizes is really the most exciting one. For the STARTS residencies, I think we are going to present a couple of residency opportunities, so I'm leaving that out for now. There are currently no active START thematic pilots, but let's see if some maybe come up again. We are here anyway presenting this, and also I will speak shortly about STARTS academies in my presentation. One thing I also wanted to mention is, of course, the connection to digital innovation hubs in Europe, because there is this formation, of course, in particular in terms of digital innovation in Europe. There are many national consortia or formations of institutions, but also on European scale, there are a couple of specific robotic-oriented or AI-oriented digital innovation hubs, and some of them really bring in STARTS practices. That's, of course, what we like the most, if partners decide not only to fully go for STARTS, but really embrace this methodology in their own practice. We could not think of a better way of spreading the STARTS mission and DNA than other partners implementing this. So if you are interested, if you are having any question on this, we have a huge pool also ready. Sorry, here we are. We have a whole platform with information on the types of practices and the types of also methodologies used in STARTS collaborations. There is a library section on STARTS EU you can use. There are also contact points, of course, if you have any questions specifically on how to navigate here. We are always happy to help. We are also publishing regularly actually meetup opportunities there. So there are STARTS family meetings where people can join who are actually operating in STARTS projects directly. But also beyond that, we do regular meetups with interested people in certain domains, from really also how to establish collaborative practices, IP regulations and issues. Also business and exploitation is always a topic. So there are certain opportunities you can also take if you're interested. I'll skip that. Yes, as I said, just join the community if you're interested. Otherwise, reach out to us all here. I think we are all familiar with at least one or even more STARTS projects, and would be happy, of course, to get in touch with you. That's as a very general overview of STARTS. I would, however, jump directly into the first, or that's maybe one other STARTS.
Yeah, maybe you like, if you want to start, Fran? With
I don't know. I think we have an order. So, who's the second, Pedro?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I
Oh, do you want to? If not, we can put that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's me. I don't know. If it's Veronica, it's Veronica.
Okay. Then I continue. No worries. Then let's bring on. So.
I'm sorry, Veronica, for the push.
I will manage. I like being here. So. 1 second technical break. We're waiting for the slides to appear. Thanks. So I am also today speaking on behalf of STARTS in the City. STARTS in the City is actually one of the current 3 STARTS regional centers in Europe, of course combining the different regions across the European Union. For us it was extremely important with STARTS in the City to really focus on urban development, also on sustainable construction, sustainable development within regions and cities in Europe. We actually chose 5 different regions: the Brussels regions, Catalonia, so actually Barcelona and the surroundings here, also Porto and northern Portugal, central Slovenia and Lombardy, with Milan as the core hub. Those are the 5 regions where we are going to implement, together with local expert groups, residencies over the next 2 years. And promote this specifically also challenge-based. I give you a bit of background here. The methodology we use in many of the STARTS residencies is particular to not focus really specifically on a topic only, but consider what are really the biggest challenges, for example, here in the region of Barcelona, or whatever kind of region you're represented, seeing what are the types of challenges we are really facing as a society, and then define core challenges and invite artists particular to work together with local experts on addressing these challenges. And the local expert groups work in a way that practitioners from industry, from research and academia, also from civil society and culture, of course, then support the artists in implementing the residencies. And most of the local expert groups come really also from this regional context. They are embedded into the research and industry ecosystems in the different regions, and are the ones who are guiding then also the artists in implementing the residencies. So yes, they are very challenge driven. I will come back to that in a second, and also give a short outlook on the challenges we are proposing. We try to also support the residencies in their evolvement, in their development. So we're not only just producing or co-producing the residencies, but then we really try to also see how we can make the next development steps, help them maybe in finding additional funding, also in incubate them really in developing the projects further, which is also the reason why we're really accompanying the artists who are doing the residency program with an incubation program. One of the big focus points in STARTS in the City is that we are actually hosting a variety of STARTS academies. So every one of the partners is offering the core research topics from the residencies, also in terms of, or in the format of educational programs to schools in our program. And we are organizing a whole set of public events. Actually in 2024 will be the big roadshow of STARTS in the City, if one can call this a roadshow. We are starting at Sona next year here in Barcelona, then we will move to Ars Electronica in September, and we will close the roadshow with the I Love Science Festival in Brussels. We are currently having the residencies open, so actually you can apply also until August 25th. We look for 11 artists or collaborative teams who want to work on these challenges in the 5 different STARTS centers I've mentioned: Brussels, Catalonia, Porto, Slovenia, Ljubljana in particular, and Milan. Ars Electronica is not offering specifically residencies, but we are supporting the whole development of the residencies then and their incubation, and we are of course presenting them in Linz next year. Next to us, it is a whole group of organizations being involved in the program. It is Gluon, a Brussels-based organization working very much from the non-profit sector, also on bringing arts and culture to industry and science. They work really with players in Brussels and in Belgium, and are focused very much on educational activities. Another partner who is very focused on educational activities is MEET in Milan. They are actually supported by Fondazione Caripolo, and they have an amazing venue, just opened a couple of years ago, so I would highly suggest to visit Milan if you have chance to do so. And they focus very much on the digital culture. So they have a huge focus also on immersive technologies, on also of course programs for kids and with kids and youngsters towards the digital world. We have Kersnikova, who is actually one of the pioneering institutions, I would say, in Europe in terms of bridging arts and culture and biotechnologies. They are one of the earliest organizations really active in the bio-art scene, and have a hub really for artistic incubation in Ljubljana, bring out some of the best examples, I would say, of arts-driven innovation, in particular in biotechnological fields. We have one innovation company, Innova Plus, in our group, who is actually part of the STARTS community for many, many years, focused as a innovation company also very much on urban development, on regional development, and this through, in particular, European means. So they have a huge expertise also in terms of European strategic funding. And then, last but not least, the one I probably don't need to introduce here, Hakte, the hub also for art, science and technology here now in Barcelona. And it's a great pleasure to have them really as one of, I think, the most interesting hubs also currently in Europe available within our consortium. I skipped that. I just wanted to give you a very brief overview of the challenges we are currently offering. So, as I said, the call is out. The opportunity is there to apply for one of the 11 different challenges. And as I explained before, our model is very much actually to look into the specific geographical context and regional context and see what are the biggest challenges there. And based on this, every partner actually defined a couple of challenge directions. We have for example, I think 4 residencies available in Brussels. One that is focusing under the title of Going Wild in the City, very much on the interconnectedness between humans, technology, and also the ecology. That's one which actually is in collaboration with Innoviris, a Brussels-based innovation company, and Brussels Urban Studios. So within every of the residencies, they form this little cohort of partners and experts which support then the residencies and the artists and creative professionals in implementing the residencies. There is also one residency from Gluon offered under the title of Reclaiming Our Agency on the increasing effects of AI into our daily presence or our daily lives, and in particular how that affects our mental health situation. So that's then more in the field of mental health. We have also one other residency which is going more in the field of elderly care, care in general, also how we can take care not only of us as humans, but also of the environment around us in the cities in particular, is a big topic within all the 11 challenges. I'm not going through all of them, I'm just taking out some of the examples from the partners. We have 2 offered actually in Milan. The nice thing here is that residency artists will get the chance to work really specifically with the Polytechnical University in Milan and a couple of companies, as well as the metropolitan city and area of Milan themselves. And here again, it will be very much in the residencies about this collaborative effort we all need to take in terms of human or this human tech and also nature collaboration and interrelationships we are facing, or we have to face. We have 1 residency in Slovenia, the future of computing, which we are offering. We all, of course, are very much aware of the fact that the global information technologies do require an increasing amount of energy for processing, for data storage, etc. And Kersnikova in their DNA is really looking into, as I said, biotechnology, and they want to also investigate what alternatives for data processing and storage could maybe exist already in biological patterns or in biological itself. And pairing up there also with a couple of experts in Ljubljana to address this in their challenge. We have 1 in Portugal, which looks much more into farming, in particular how also ICT tools, digital technologies at large, can be used for a more sustainable way of agriculture and farming, and also how those farmers could actually be supported in collaborating more closely with each other. And they do this together with Lusíada University in also near Porto in the northern areas of Portugal. And then we have 3 residencies in Barcelona. Sorry, I did not move forward. In Barcelona with HACTA and with their whole ecosystem. So as you might know, HACTA is of course as an institution more of an umbrella organization who is also embracing different kinds of academic and industry partners, and they're bringing them into this ecosystem, and they're offering their residency artists to work with these partners. 1 residency is on robots in elderly care systems and how they can, or how we can also find solutions and interesting ideas how elderly people can actually contain or remain their autonomy, but also how that actually might ease the process for caregivers. 1 of the residencies is in particular on digital narratives for climate change, focusing very much on the idea also on climate literacy and understanding really what the effects of climate change are and what kind of narratives we will need. And the 3rd residencies will be on understanding and engineering photosynthesis for a more sustainable future, the one you see here, which is going to also challenge the idea and hopefully bring out some types of solutions and ideas on how to advance in particular agriculture and green energy consumption. Those are our 11 residency challenges. Thanks for sticking with me in going through them. That's of course the most interesting opportunity to connect to them. I have to say that's why I also wanted to focus on them, because we will very much insist really on one of these topics, also on these challenges in the region. And when working within these residencies, it will be required to also work with the local expert groups who are specifically coming from these challenges. Thanks so much for looking or hearing into this. I think the opportunities there, the range of pilots we have is fantastic, from healthcare really to also sustainable urban development, and I hope that we'll see many applicants and many collaborators in the future in STARTS in the city. Thanks so much.
I think it's now your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. Let's wait for the slides then.
Present yourself.
Yeah, just quickly. So I'm Violetta from ArtShare, and we're an organization that is involved with one of the other STARTS regional centers project that is called Art-Driven Innovation for Digital and Green Transition in European Regions. And I will give you an overview about the project and the initiative. So, okay, so first of all, I'll give you a small introduction about who are the partners involved and what's the rationale behind it. So the main coordinator of the project is the University of Linz, Johannes Kepler University, and with their newly established project called the Circus of Knowledge, which is actually a very interesting and nice space that is opened on the location of the campus. And it was created by director of JKU around a year and a half ago. And as part of his vision to promote both art-driven innovation and citizen-focused communication about science and technology. So it's a very collaborative place where there's also a lot of public performances and different activities engaged. So the other partner is ArtShare. We basically participate in a lot of research projects where the main focus has been put on creating or communicating and bringing awareness about the transdisciplinary approach towards innovation through artistic practices and processes. We have two partners from Bologna region, which is Kilowatt. It's a cooperative formed by different professionals who work in social innovation, circular economy, communication, and urban regeneration. And they're also one of the first organizations in Bologna that are focused on urban regeneration projects and actually redesign a lot of places around Bologna to repurpose the old spaces in different buildings into new and creative places. We also have Cineca, which is one of the largest Italian computing centers and quite important worldwide, as well as other computing centers. And they're also one of the residency involved partners. So we also have Coliseo Porto, which is the oldest theater in the region of Porto, and of course they have been involved over 80 years in different performances and theater and bringing the voice of culture and artists to the public. And also they're a very open space for experimentation and trying to repurpose what theater is and new ways to create theater and theater experiences. And we also have the University of Oulu of Applied Sciences, which has a special center that was recently built called the Center of Performing Arts Innovation, and it's within the School of Media and Performing Arts in the university. And the university has been a leading hub in Finland and Europe to expand innovation and through interface of education, technologies, live performances. So all the 6 partners represent the 5 regions that we have involved, and they are acting as the local actors to bring the local stakeholders as well as the local community into the art-driven approach. So, general, the project overview is to address the digital and ecological transition in Europe from different perspectives and different areas. That's why all the topics for the residencies that were designed are addressing these specific topics, but from different angle. Of course, to develop new solutions and more like new experiences and approach towards the art-driven innovation, to encourage uptake of digital technologies through a different, innovative and creative way, and also to create multidisciplinary teams and 12 new artistic experiences for critical reflection and solution development for Europeans' digital and ecological transition and what it actually means. Also to establish a network of partners of the 6 new centers, and also to be part of the bigger S+T+ARTS initiative in order to bring the S+T+ARTS approach to more and more centers and actors, and also to transform the involved communities into more socially sustainable and green economically oriented. So the approach we are developing in this project is the so-called S+T+ARTS innovation cycle that we together with the different S+T+ARTS activities and pillars that are part of the whole initiative, where we launch an open call for the artists to do a residency program that is of course provided with a lot of mentorship and support by the regional hubs that are involved, that emerge into artistic experiences and exhibitions to engage the communities, then the S+T+ARTS academies to more focus on the education and the learning aspect of that, the S+T+ARTS talks to engage more the community about the different topics or create a dialogue or more pressing matters, and of course the creation of the main S+T+ARTS regional centers, which aim to be a local hub that promotes that kind of innovation, but also channels as an opportunity provider for future collaborations. And of course, all this is to create a system that works and can be implemented further on a bigger scale, because all this research basically goes into that aspect. So yeah, that's basically the methodology, and the main goal is basically to create an environment that encourages artists and different local actors to interact with technology as well as the industry, and also to stimulate the digital transformation in different sectors, and also to make that transformation more art-driven, more human-centric and more ethical, also addressing question what technological advancement means and how we as humans tackle that. So we started the project a little bit earlier, that's why our open call was just closed. However, the S+T+ARTS residencies are starting now in October, they will end in April, and parallel with that, we'll also start more activities in the different hubs that are part of our network, and of course connect with the other networks. So mainly we are planning to have a lot of engagement events in Bologna, in Oulu, with the Festival of Lights in Oulu that I believe is in November, but information will be published on the website. Then with Porto, Lisbon, Aveiro, and Austria as well, linked. And of course, in parallel, that will be having a lot of exhibition on a local level, but also on a more regional level or international level, where these artworks have more presence and also raise more dialogue into that. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we already did the open call, but just want to give an overview that we were basically aiming to select 12 projects for around 40,000 euros each residency. And the main areas that we were tackling were green and blue infrastructure, circular solution, climate neutrality, well-being, and sustainable living. And we also analyze the different priority areas for the different regions, and also looking into what kind of projects will be interesting to involve with the local community, and also what kind of artists we want to bring there to work on that. So for Austria, we decided on 3 topics: climate crisis, well-being of young people, and hatred on the internet. These 3 topics will be purely performative because, as I said, it will be in the Circle of Knowledge, which is a performative center. So that will be actually interesting experience to involve the whole local community, especially kids and young people. Then in Bologna, since we have all the data from one of the main computing centers, we designed the residency in the area of supercomputing, quantum and digital twin, especially to relation of biodiversity and climate change. In Aveiro, our main idea was for drone technologies for biodiversity, for forestation and deforestation, because it's a big problem due to rising heat and temperature. Coliseo, AR contemporary theater, mainly in the area of how we communicate and preserve urban culture and urban stories in augmented reality experience that is delivered through theater. So the theater is also acting as a place for innovation. And in Oulu, the residency were focused on sound technologies and printing technologies, and especially the sound technologies will be also part of the Festival of Lights, which is a big event in the region in winter. And the winter is long, when the evening is longer, so you can enjoy longer hours in the experience. And in terms of upcoming activities, we are basically starting, we'll have a final big exhibition that will be in 2024, and we are launching a series of events and exhibitions that will start in the beginning of 2024 after the residencies have been halfway through. So yeah, thank you very much, and we'll provide more updates on the ST+ARTS website. Thank you.
I think now it's me. Right. Well, it's we. Do you mind if I wake up? It's a bit... Oh, sorry. ¿Te molesta mucho si me pongo aquí? ¿No? ¿Está bien? So, just give me a go. If not, it's something like strange. So we'll present the other regional hub. Well, our regional hub, as I will not explain ST+ARTS because properly was done by Veronica, better than me for sure. So our project is based on the concept of AIR. As you will see, I will strongly recommend to go to the guide for applicants and all the information, but in a nutshell, it's AIR in the philosophical point of view. I mean, it's beyond the invisible substance. It's AIR can be a measure of quality of life. It can be a connector. It's a medium for transporting our voice. It's everything, you know. So it's nice and everything easy to control. So depending who you talk to, AIR is a different story. For RCR architects, it's a matter of measuring space. That is something that's crazy for me, but it's so I strongly recommend to go to the concept because it's a nice concept where it's easily to find connections with your works. We will have 4 regional centers, one in Germany, one in Spain. Not everything is in Linz. We are also in Barcelona. Just kidding. So we will have another one in Italy and another one in Slovenia. So, and I think that this is one of the most interesting slides that we will share. So I think that this project we try to at least to make it a bit different and really push the collaboration between science and arts. I mean, and try to give this kind of vision where arts can contribute to science, science can contribute to arts. So we have 2 of the most important supercomputing centers, high performance computing centers in Europe, the one in Stuttgart, the one here in Barcelona. Also we have Sony, it's also a strong partner in the tech side with plenty of data about smart cities, about plenty of things. It's the innovation lab from Sony, but based in Rome and in Paris, but the regional hub will be in Rome. Of course we have MSc, Matt here, Inforart in Netherlands, P9 in Slovenia, and RCR, it's a really reputed company in architecture and design. They have the Pitzner Prize on the way they are able to integrate architecture and environment, so they are quite nice. And of course we are us, the Épica Foundation from la Fura dels Baus. So it's a really strong consortium, I think, and we will try.
Yeah, only to add, it's also the first time that you have two supercomputing centers in Europe working together in the start. So that was the outcome a little bit, also the idea to say, you know, the two supercomputing centers are working together.
But we put the tools, but also we try to change a bit and to try to push our colleagues from the science and the tech part to be part of the thing. I mean, not only to be providers, but also to be part. We will try. I look, Uwe looking at me like, well, at least we have now the ¿cómo se dice? Voluntad, at least now we want to try. You know, this is important. So the challenges, again, I will also let you go to the guide for applicants. You will have a lot of details. We have been based the 10 residencies in 2 main topics with different research lines. It's quite important. So we have topics and research lines because we want to really integrate the artists and the artists in residence with research lines that we have in the consortium in the way to really promote this collaboration. So don't try to do something outside the box, but something inside the box. So in the way that the scientists in-house will be happy to join because they are already working on that. So we have the resilience to the species urban ecosystems with different research lines that you will see that they are quite inspiring also for the arts, but they are quite connected with what the consortium is already doing or planning to do. That it's quite important because in this way we are able to align the work during the residencies with the work in the labs, not trying to ask them to help, but trying to work with them. So, and the second one is human AI ecosystems. Again, it's a matter of human AI ecology, respiration, it's boundaries of perception. It's quite different research lines, but connecting with these 2 topics, so it's quite interesting. What do we offer? What we offer is mainly what we all offer. So 40K for the residencies. We are offering guidance and support, mentoring, of course. We have a strong consortium. So if I was you, it's a pity, but I am not an artist. But if I was an artist, the most important thing, more than the money, that is quite important, is the amount of knowledge different from myself that I can access to. So we have la Fura dels Baus. Pep Gatell is the president of the foundation, is one of the founders of la Fura, but also we have Uwe, for example, the leading part of the visualization department of the HRRS. So you have plenty of different skills that you can access to. So it's quite important, and of course access to the scientific knowledge and facilities, and the STARS family, that it's quite nice. So of course we will do something in Linz. But this is quite interesting that I want to put a bit of attention. What we are looking for? We are looking for this kind of artists trying to work in the intersections of art and science, okay? But this is the second one, is quite important. It's willing, an artist, I put the asterisk because it's an artist or an association, a legal entity that, you know, that in a nutshell, that it's able to sign with us the agreement, you know, so it's a legal entity, can be an artist, an association, or a company, or whatever. But it's important, so they need to be part of a core team. So we plan to do the 10 residencies as 10 small core teams inside the whole company. Let's say that this is the consortium, where we try to work during 10 months together in order to create a proof of concept, an idea, or a prototype. So they will be part of the game. So of course they will bring the first idea, but we hope that this idea at the beginning will be modified and changed the whole process thanks to the inspiration and the connections that we will be able to create. So hopefully the original idea and the proof of concept will be quite different, for sure, much more powerful. We hope so. So this is so if you're an artist that has a clear idea what to do, maybe it's not the proper call. So this idea is we will push a lot of we will put a lot of attention during the residency on the first stages in order to really transfer and pollinize these kind of ideas. And then we will create the proof of concept at the very end, but as something indirect, let's say. Our main mission is to really promote this kind of interchange between science, technology, and the arts as a really powerful tool for the whole thing, not for the artists, not for the scientists, not for the tech. So you will see that it's a bit different. Of course, they will have to help you. We help us to validate the potential of the STARS family, that's for sure. And of course, participate in experiments, reflections, opportunities, new ideas inside a core team. together with us. That's quite important. Of course, we also did a lot of effort trying to convince the consortium to also put efforts on that. So we will ask the artists to be committed with the idea, but also the consortium to be committed with the idea the other way around. So I think this can be a nice way. And at the very end, we will ask them only to create a proof of concept from TRL 3 or 5 to validate what we are doing. It's nice and strong to keep working on that, or spillover or whatever. So this is why we define these 3 stages. First stage is 4 months for just technology exploration and experimentation. It's just to put you inside a team of different people and try to really do cross-pollination, to mutual learning, to really think about this idea, but with the other points of view and the other expertise to really create something or not. Then we will meet 3 days here in Barcelona. Well, not in Barcelona, in Catalonia, let's say, in the mountains, something like in a Big Brother, 3 days with the whole company. I mean, the whole 10 artists plus the whole consortium, in order to really push again this kind of strong collaboration. Not as an isolated artist doing your thing, but also with the other artists, but also with the whole consortium. And then we will start the stage 2, where we'll start working on the experiments, proof of concepts, and that's it. And the very end, the presentation, dissemination, and spillovers, that of course it's important, but it will something that should go out naturally. I mean, this is not the objective. This should be something that for sure, you know, when you put artists and scientists at the very end, something appear. But it's not the goal. So this is quite important. The key dates, this is like that. That's why we, for example, it's quite important. We also try to define the open call according to this philosophy. We will ask artists to go first with only something like a briefing of an idea and the motivation letter. Then we will have these sessions of feedback with the scientists, with the 20 better ones, and we will see what happens during the second preparation phase. So if the artist has been able to understand the thing and modify his or her own idea in a bigger one, according to the thing, in order to start the second stage of the presentation with something better. That's quite important, because it's quite important, and we want to avoid sometimes the problem that we have of mutual understanding. Artists should be part of the team, then it should be something like, because it's quite important for us, and you will know it better than me because you have more experience in that, we have to validate that this process will work. So we have to avoid potential problems. So if you are not ready to share and collaborate with the others, maybe it's not the right proposal. But this is the way. And then in the second stage, from these 20, let's say, motivation letters, better motivation letters, we will select the 10 better ones for the residencies. I think it's, we will plan to start around December, because in November we will announce the winners. So before the end of the year, we plan to start the residencies and go until September in order to really work on that. But it's quite important. So we have, well, Matt and myself, we work a lot with the team to promote this kind of really commitment from both sides. So we will push a lot this kind of collaboration, horizontal collaboration between scientists, technologists, and artists. So it's quite important. Key dates for you if you want to apply. Well, first, go to the guide for applicants. Today I just give you some peanuts about that. It's quite important to see the inspirational research lines, the topics, and even the concept. But it's quite important that we will do, the opening is just today. So we press a lot everybody to do it today. So it's available from, I don't know, maybe 1 hour ago. And also we will do another webinar more to the point with more interaction, Zoom, and all this stuff. If you have any questions, so go there with your questions prepared in order to go to the point. It's quite nice. We will have the open call, as you saw here, until mid-September, something like that. So you have time to rest a bit during the summer, but also to work on the proposal, okay? So, and of course during the proposal, and according to the core team that we think is the one that better fits with you, you will have the option to go to Barcelona, Stuttgart, Slovenia, or Rome, Italy, of course. So, but it will be according to, but we will try to also avoid isolating residencies, so we will try to do this kind of cross-border teams in order to have access to HRS MSc, but also suddenly move to Rome to go for whatever. So it's quite important for us. And I think that that's it. Matt, do you want to add something?
No, we have also something new. It's an advisory board from a philosopher, sociologue, informatic or technology, so that during this process with the artists and the scientists, that they have a supervision from advisory board every month, that they guide a little bit this process, because we have to learn about this process. And I think if you have a look from philosopher, sociologue, or from technician, then it could help in the process. So that's a little bit new on this.
I think I forgot it, but it's quite important, but because we will monitor, as we have to do it from the commission, the artists, but the advisory board will monitor us. I mean, as a team, the artists
also
plus
the process,
us. You know, that's the important thing. So it's not just we are monitoring the artist. This is because we have to do it. But
you don't like this idea, but I'm fighting for this still.
Okay, do you want to add something? Veronica? Well, we invite you all to the whole 3 projects, and of course September.
Exactly. Maybe a last word from myself. We cordially invite you, of course, to the next upcoming STARTS family meeting and STARTS Day, which happens from our side at Ars Electronica already in beginning of September. In particular, the STARTS Day will happen actually on September 7th in Linz, Austria, on site. If you want to join, please feel free to do so. Actually, many of the participants from the whole STARTS family, organizations all over Europe, will also join as well. As you know, we are more than 100 organizations working currently in different kinds of STARTS programs, and that STARTS family meeting is always a fantastic chance to gather and join again the group and like-minded people. So a cordial invitation to that, and also a cordial invitation to the STARTS Day happening at Frankfurt Book Fair this year in October, mid of October. There is already the next chance for the big next STARTS family meeting. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Barcelona again. Thank you for coming here, and see you soon. Bye.